hivi. He is one of the people here, also a content creator, na nimeona akiwa loud and clear. Sijui kama unanisikiza, unaniona. You can talk to me nyuma ya tent. Nice one. So guys, if you're tuned in, welcome so much. This is Mkenya Marekani, a platform where we educate you. Information is power, and this is a show that you do not want to miss. Keep it here ndani ya Mkenya Marekani, and since Tony is here, I don't know how long he's gonna be here, but let me invite Mr. Tony, because he'll be talking about photography and the image quality that you need for you to ace that opportunity to come to America. So ladies and gentlemen, bila kuzembea zembea, tuite mkubwa ambaye anajulikana kama Tony Shira. Yes sir.
Hey, what's up bro?
What's up bro? How's it going?
Good. Mambo?
Fiti sana. Tumetulia manze. Hapa tunachanuana 1 2 1 2.
Lazima tuchanuane bana.
Yeah.
Hii mtaa lazima tu share ideas, watu wajue vile kuenda how about these things.
Yes.
Ndio pia tujijenge na tujenge wengine.
Kabisa.
Nashukuru sana bana kuni-invite Mkenya Marekani this would be like the first time as a guest.
So pigia Tony Shira ma.
Shukran.
So ladies and gentlemen, wacha kwanza introduce. Tony Shira akona titles mob by the way. So introduce yourself first, alafu to move from there.
Wow, okay. So thanks everybody. Thank you Mkenya Marekani for having me on the show. My name is Tony Shira. Kuna watu wananijua kama 𝐕𝐻𝐻. I am a consultant on talent, but currently running a show called the TCTV1 USA. It's on YouTube. TCTV1 USA is a channel dedicated to diaspora affairs, and I say we give content that impacts the world. And then niko na channel ya mambo zetu za hapa na za nyumbani hapa na Jamhuri, inaitwa The Tony Shira Show. It's also on YouTube. But other than that, I run a studio called the Tony Shira Studios. Basically, Tony Shira is a brand name, and niko na a studio in Kent, which I'm sure as we go by, when you allow in, maybe I can take guys through the studio and what happens up in here, just so that they know what we do. So basically, I'm a photographer, video content creator. I have a channel on YouTube, 2 of them, and I'm a talent consultant. So you can call me a resource person.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, Tony, bro, we'll hit direct the story that we have ahead of us.
Right.
Ya green card. Na before tuanze kujaza green card, lazima mtu akuwe na kwa hii 2025 green card lottery. Mtu kitu ya kwanza yenye unahitaji kuwa nao kwa mkono ni picture.
Photo.
Twanga photo.
Haya. Hiyo photo.
So tuambie specifics za hiyo picture.
We'll go into the details of that, but first of all, before you even decide to apply for this, you must be from an eligible country.
Yeah.
Kuna nchi zingine ambazo, so basically what happens is that the US government allocates countries a quota, a number of applications that they will issue to people. So Kenya, for example, is I think 55,000 a year, and that number, not Kenya alone,
the whole world, entire world,
per year is 55,000. So and that is distributed, because the whole idea why it's called diversity, DV is diversity lottery. It's to increase the diversity of people from all over the world that are in the US. So basically that's the thinking behind it. And that means then for countries that have achieved a good number, for example, if you think about Nigeria, they are not eligible to participate, because there is already enough Nigerians in the US already. So they don't need more Nigerians at the moment. And that's been on this year, last year, and the other year. So basically,
I think to make that point clear, it's not that they don't need Nigeria. They want to create more opportunity for other people who have there's other opportunities za Nigeria za kuja huku, but for
yeah,
green card wamake up kwa sababu
yeah,
previously a lot of Nigerians won green card, so wakasema
yeah.
I think
Hiyo
they decided
target
to
number
give
yao ilikuwa
equal,
imefika. Yeah.
equal opportunities to other countries.
Thanks.
So,
You're
so
better
that we
politically speaking.
don't run into war against Nigeria. Just so you know.
Yeah. Thanks for that clarification. So basically, so there are countries that are eligible, and so you must be coming from an eligible country. And if you're not from an eligible country, you probably are associated with someone that is from that country, for example, by way of marriage. So that is the basis, number one. Number two, then you must be an adult mwenye umefikisha miaka 18 ama uko na kitambulisho, you know. So for Kenyans wenye wamefikisha miaka 18 they can participate, and then this year and last year they don't require that anybody has a passport, so you can apply without a passport. And when I talk about a passport, let me clarify this. Kuna watu wanasikiaga passport wanafikiria passport ni kale kapicha ka 2x2. Okay, so
kuna passport document.
Passport is the travel document.
Yeah.
Kuna passport size photo. Passport size picture, passport size photo is the 2x2, which guidelines are given actually on the website when you go in, what is required.
Yeah.
Now to hack that is the tricky part, because sio picha yote square which means it's a 2x2, all right, but sio zote ziko kwa the size in terms of resolutions and the pixels that are required. So essentially, a picture is supposed to be between, that's a passport size photo for this purpose, is supposed to be between 60 KB to 240 KB. Now I know some of you people, probably some people have gone to try and upload. They have a 2x2 picture. Unaenda kuupload inakataa kuingia. Okay. Two things could be the reason. One, it's probably heavier than 240 KB. If it is heavier than 240 KB, haita upload, itakataa. If it is too light, that means, okay, some people have tried to, you can sneak in even up to 40 KB, but then it will pixelate, you know. Down when now they run it, it will pixelate. In other words, itatokea na box, so it will not be showing clearly. So to hack that size has been the challenge for most people, and so that's where now you need to get a professional or someone to actually look at that. Now beyond that, the other reasons that I think would be nice to also talk about, Gary. When it comes to this process, when you're thinking about the photo, in terms of the size and positioning, if you visit the government tool, the travel.gov, the travel.
Yeah, I think I able to you can share your screen as you speak. Kama unatumia nini?
Natumia simu. I didn't log in through the computer.
Okay, I'll share screen for you.
Yeah,
for
you can do that. Yeah, and then I can yeah, you know. Are you there? Okay, so right, so basically as he goes on to do that, there is the size and positioning, which means like picha yenye unapiga kwa hiyo in the frame. What we call the frame is what you see on the photo, which is supposed to have a plain white background. Whatever the image that is in, there's the image and there's the frame. The frame is the square, the box that you hold, that is the picture. So there's a question of the size and position. Sometimes unaweza pata picha maybe imesongelea kando sana, iko kando sana kwa frame. That is a problem. Okay, so are you on the just go to photo tool?
Photo tool. Okay, well, let me go to photo tool.
Yeah. You can even search it up there, like, search photo tool. You can just search photo tool on any Play new. Yeah.
I can just Google up here.
Travel.state.gov photo tool. Ama type pale juu, Gary.
Yeah.
TSG dot photo tool is one word. Then dot state.
Photo tool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ndio hiyo. Yeah. Yep,
There you
we're
go.
there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So if you look to the right, pale juu utaona size and position. So basically, these are things that are very, very available. They are right there, for you to actually be able to see. So just just go. If you look at those pictures now, we are talking about basic examples right here. If you click on size and position, just click on, yeah, there you go. So you can see like the guys when you work on your X, like someone has taken a picture now of kule pembeni, so the image is supposed to be within that square box, right? But then if your image is moving to the far left or far right, that is a problem. If it is moving too high, meaning that headroom, hii space iko between kichwa yako na mahali box imefika, is too thin, it's too small, then there's a problem. Okay. If you're too far, like the lady to the bottom right, kale kadogo, next, the next one, yeah, that one. Okay, so if you look at that now, this is what we call when we're talking about the image to frame ratio. The image is too small. Okay, that cannot be processed. It's not acceptable. So you might actually take a picture like this, upload it, na ichukue. Okay, but obviously ikienda pale kwa filtering utaanguka. So I usually tell people, don't assume that because ati umekuja hapa kwa kuupload picha ika-upload sasa imekubalika, you've done the right thing. No, there are all these parameters that we're talking about. So basically, if you look at the first image that is up there, is what is recommended. And I need to mention at this point that as you're thinking about this guy, think about mtu mwenye ni maybe ni dame or a lady, and she has hair that is up her head. Okay, so what basically happens in that case, it means that the eyes will be lower, the size of the body will be lower, but then there's a ratio that they've given when you're calculating, and I think probably down that way we'll probably find it. Let's go to the next one on pose and expression. Okay, there we go. So I know this has been a question that many people ask, and some people have come to my studio and they ask me, am I supposed to smile? or am I not supposed to smile? As long as you're not showing your teeth, right? So it's fine to look friendly. I've seen some people also, get very, very serious, almost to the point of, yani unanyenyekea mpaka karibu
bro ni background yenye tumetoka. We picha ya ID, nani Mkenya alikuwa na smiling?
Oh, by the way, let me tell you, I worked for the registration of persons department, and I was allocated that department. For some weird reason, I was the one taking photos, and I tried to tell people, don't look like umefiwa.
So kwa picha yako ulikuwa umesmile?
Friendly. I can show you.
Bro,
I can show you.
Acha nisiseme. Flash ilikuwa ya kiberiti, unawasha kiberiti chwa, alafu ndio hiyo light ya kiberiti chwa.
Right. So it's good to look friendly. Okay.
Yeah.
So not laughing. Basically not laughing. So your mouth is not open. In other words, your lips are together. All right.
Like you're not frowning. Easy.
Yeah.
Unajua kuna hizi 111, matatu za 111 hapa. Unazitoa kiasi.
Zile za hapa, you're lemoning your face.
Yeah.
Right. If you look at the next photo, the problem there is that the head is tilted too far low. In other words, ameinamisha kichwa sana. It's too far low. Okay.
Yeah.
And that means then, in terms of orientation, that is not a straight face, because basically what is supposed to happen is that the camera level is supposed to be the same at the same level with your head level. So the lens imepimana na macho yako, so kama umeketi kwa kiti na imeinuliwa juu, mahali macho yako imefika, pia the camera is supposed to be at the same level. The one right below it is the opposite. That is a camera, just push it up a little. The one right below it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with a lot of comments already on our platforms.
All right, I'll appreciate. I'll be
Yeah.
happy to respond to any questions probably later. Okay, so the one right below the one we were discussing is the opposite. So this guy's head is lifted too far up. Okay, so in other words, same thing that we were saying. If your eye level is not the same level as the camera level, then your chin goes up or goes too far low, and that's a problem. So basically, that's that. Let's go to the next tool, which discusses glasses, or what you wear basically. So glasses are a no, technically. They are not allowed. But they do, under certain circumstances, if you can't see without glasses completely, under certain circumstances they allow for that, but you have to have a medical letter accompanying your application in that case. So I've seen that. So basically, hakuna kuvaa kofia. Let's go to the next one about the dress code. Hakuna kuvaa kofia.
Actually, this is a very good point. Let me. This is a very good. I have people here asking me if Muslim they come to the US through green card. Actually, there's a lot of people from where is it? Somalia. People
everywhere.
From South Sudan, Arab Emirates,
Saudi, huko kwote, Afghanistan, everywhere.
US does not alienate anybody because of religious background. Actually, let me just tell you one. Kuna Wakenya saizi wanasemanga hawezi fanya job fulani because ama hawezi toa ile karibon ketu kwa Wakenya aka kitu ka mkono ati kwa sababu ni cultural. So US ina respect culture, ina respect religion, unaweza jiformia hata your own religion. So
in fact, I think it's best to say that encourages people to actually practice their culture.
It's good we came to that context hapa hivi ndio nionyesha wase ya kwamba people because unaona hata picha ya Kiislamu, huyo ni msichana wa Kiislamu, sijui kama kwa sababu ya hijab tunamuita wa Kiislamu, lakini akivaa hijab tunajua ni wa Kiislamu. So na wametumia mfano yake, so it means you cannot be barred from coming to US because of your background, religious or inclination, whatever it is, as long as wewe si terrorist, wewe si unajua watu wanakuwa na notion ati since unatoka kwa yani Kiarabu ama nini, you are a bad person. No. And US does not look at you in that scope.
Absolutely. So basically what should not happen is that you're not covering the larger part of your mouth, of your face. So
kama sasa huyu vile amevaa.
So if you look at the next picture, the second one, the one to the right, the one with an X, is because she's covering too much of the face, and that's why that is a no. Now if you go to the one below the one in the green, again this is partial covering, not now by the side of the mouth, but by the side of the face. She almost has a half face. So technically what happens with this whole idea is that they need to see your face as much as they can, as most of your face as they can, and therefore the reason the other jamaa kona dread mwenye pia amewekewa X is because kuna nywele zime
hang out
part of the face, know.
So dread is mbaya
as long as you're not covering parts of your face. And allow me to speak to the question on kuonekana masikio at this point, because I've had I've had a lot of questions, people asking sasa hii masikio yangu ni kidogo sana, haionekanagi, and sometimes we are even forced to try and fit some things hapo nyuma ya masikio ndio masikio yaonekane. So this is the thing. The idea is not primarily to see the ears, but the idea is to have a straight face. Okay. The idea is to have a face that is straight into the camera. If I can see both ears equally, then it means that your face is straight into the camera, you know.
Yep.
And so it's not much the question of how big your ears are or how visible or outstanding they are, but that it is a straight face, so one can be able to actually see your face fully. So that done, let's go to lighting and shadows, which is another very, very crucial part of this whole photo aspect. Okay, now this is a very, very dramatic page for me, because this is the beginning and the end of a good photo. Photography, photo in itself, the word photo is all about is light. Okay. So if you think about any photograph, any photo, then think about light. Now, what has been happening is that you get some people that tell you, okay, nitakupiga picha, and then amechukua flash, amekuwekea, amepiga picha, and then it looks like the guy on the right, right?
Yeah.
Now, what happens is that the places that you're seeing zikikaa white, they are what zile tulikuwa tunasema kitambo tukigrow up, imechomeka, it's flashed out. In other words, you can't see the skin on the person because imeglare ikaisha rangi, so it's just a white reflection of nothing. All right, so that will not be that is not a correct photo. Again, let me remind you, unaweza kuwa na picha kama hiyo, and because the size agrees, ukuje ku-upload at the point of application ikubalike, but that does not make it right. Ikifika huko mbele, filtering itatupwa nje.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why it's very, very...
aspect ratio haiwezi.
Yes. Aya, let's go to this lady with the gray hair. Right? Now, if you look at this lady, part of the face is visible, meaning light ilikuwa inatoka direction moja. All right? And the other side is too black. Now, ideally, the picture should be able to make someone that is looking at you recognize you. So meaning, if it is dark on one side, then that person is struggling to figure out who you are, and it is not possible for them to do that. So basically, that's why this picture is rejected, other than her looking down, of course, which is also something that we are seeing here. Then the one on the far right, for that lady, mwanzo amevaa glasses. You remember what we said about glasses? They are a no. And then her fringe, nywele imefunika uso, So again, the face needs to be visible, and so all that needs to be parted. So kitambaa mtu anaweza fungia pale as long as it's not concealing part of your face. All right, so inaweza fungiwa pale juu, but not letting the hair block part of your face. Let's go to the next one on background. Yeah, so it is advised that the pictures are taken on a plain white background. That's what they say, plain white background. But as you can see, neutral, what is defined in photography as neutral backdrop is allowed. And neutral backdrop is basically, it could be a little gray, a little off-white, a little creamish, all that is acceptable, okay? As long as it's not the dramatic bushes that you're seeing in the pictures that we are showing you, right? Where there are distractions going on, there are distractions, in the background. And I've had those issues. Like I try to help people. Like there are some people that are, want to apply na wako pale nyumbani, sijui mtoi yuko shule, they cannot get permission to leave school now. And by the way, guys, I always tell you, starting July, August, I released a notice in June, and June, July, August, Apple, telling guys it's time for guys to start taking photos if they intend to have their kids, applying for the green card, because a photo must be within 6 months of the time of application. So if it is older than 6 months, it's not eligible. And then some people try to cut corners on asemai watajuaje. So guys, here's the thing. Every digital photo has something that is called a timestamp. Okay? And that timestamp is metadata that is attached to a picture that when you run says this picture was taken when. It can even go to where, depending on the equipment, the permissions that were granted on that equipment. It was taken where, what time, we using what camera, what lens, at what distance, all that information is on that picture, So you can't cut corners and decide that, I can sneak in a picture from last time. No, it doesn't work like that. So watu wako nyumbani, kama mtoto yuko shule, ngojea atoke ama go speak to the mwalimu, go with a photographer, akikubali muende mpige picha, but msipigie picha mbele ya Atlas ama mpigie picha mbele ya manyasi. Just look for a plain backdrop, if it is off-white, cream, gray, which is neutral, that is fine. Now, to those of us who are tech in photography, I can help, cut out the background from a fairly, a fairly rough surface, in the back. Like for example, tuseme usimamishe mtoto ama mtu kwa ukuta, as long as your ukuta doesn't have multi-colors, it's possible to actually cut out that image without losing any detail, including a hair. Because again, picha haifai kuonekana imekatwa, because then that means that photo has been tampered with. And if it is tampered with, then we cannot even trust that is the same person. So I hope you guys are understanding when I say we can be able to, cut out the backdrop if the background is not extremely crazy, okay? But if it is extremely crazy, kama ya huyu jamaa yuko hapa mbele ya maatlas ama ni mamap, it is very difficult to get into those details and be able to come out with a clean copy without making the picture look like it has been altered. That is actually the word that they use, that a photo must not be altered. So it needs to be you. All right. Now, some people have asked about makeup because I think that is the other question. Advice is that you go as natural as possible, as minimal makeup as possible, because again, you don't want to create the impression of someone that in case someone meets you ukiwa hauna makeup, hautaijulikana ni wewe. It's like they are two different people. So for the ladies that like to have their makeup, just go minimal. A powder is allowed, to Vaseline kiasi ama Arimis if that's what you use, or whatever the lip gloss that you use. That's okay. Minimal makeup. Let's go to the next one on resolution and quality. So this is hii ni sumbua. Hii hapa ni sumbua, and I hope guys can be able to visualize what we are talking about in terms of resolution. Now, clarity of an image depends on how sharp it appears. Now, let me point at two things that can determine the clarity of an image. Number one, if the lens that you're using is dirty, if the lens is smudged with some oil, hiyo picha hata ufanye nini, it will not be clear, hata ufanye nini. Okay? If the camera resolution is low, you cannot fix that. In other words, if your camera can only take a picture size of say 256 KB, that is as clear as that picture is going to be. Now you can imagine if you take a picture at 256 KB and then you have to crop it down, to reduce it to this size, that clarity disappears, the image looks pixelated. So what you're seeing on the picture on the right, it could be a product of a dirty lens. Okay, so to those that take photos out there, every time clean your lens so that you eradicate the possibility of getting an unclear image, because you might have a super camera, but if your lens is dirty, you will not get a good a clear image. Let's go to the one right below it. The one right below that one is because of a shake. Like when someone is taking the picture, they shake. If they shake, again, you don't get a clear, sharp image. That is what you're seeing on the second bottom picture. Now for this lady, what is happening? Number one, first of all, is the background that is not agreeable, and then you realize what happens is if you have a competing background, and that's what I was talking, what I wanted to talk to as the second item. If you have a competing backdrop, it is very, very easy for the lens to mistake the focus. Like if you're out of focus, you don't know whether it's pointing at the person or the background. So you might end up with the background looking like the subject, and the person who is actually supposed to be the subject ends up being not clear. So that's what you're seeing in as far as that. Let's talk about children, right? For children, as long as you leave the kid without mavitu, all these things that keep the kids busy, that's fine. And usually what they say is that you can lie down a kid kwa baby cot ama kwa kitanda, and take a picture from above, okay, as long as they're looking at the camera. Now it is understood kids are dependents, in other words, what they call derivatives. So they are not the main applicant, all right? So there is some bit of excuse that is allowed for the kids. But if you notice what is happening with this picture yenye imewekwa green, the one on top, yeah, where the top of the head is, right, is equal to, it matches what was there with the other pictures that we've seen that have been marked correct. So in other words, the positioning still has to be correct. Okay. Now, when you look at there's a little document, there's a little picture that defines the millimeters zenye zinafaa kuwa, which now for me, because I've been doing this for quite a number of years, I think this will be like my 6th year doing photography for these applications. I already have a template that has defined the specific height, headroom, mahali macho zinafaa kufit, there's a range, mahali kindevu inafaa kufit, there's a range, okay, so that we can be able to determine the head to the body ratio in that picture. So basically those are the technicals that I would want to talk about. And then of course we talked about facial obstructions, which we've talked about, and maybe you can just go to that as we finish on the photo details. You see the first picture there, that has nothing, has no obstructions. Okay, if you remember the other lady that was in black in a hijab, alikuwa amefunika mdomo sana, so it needs to be as clear as that. That kid, don't put obstructions, mbele yake. Huyu ameficha shingo, we cannot really tell whether it's the same person. Basically, that's just go down kidogo, Gary. Yeah, the one wearing a scarf, right? Yeah, you cannot tell whether it's the same person ama ni mtu mwingine ametokezea huko nyuma. So it needs to show that this is the same person from head to the body. The one at the end is because ameblock uso yake. As we said, the whole entire face needs to be seen. So basically, those are the most important things that we all need to be looking out to when you're taking your picture. It has to be the right resolutions in terms of, like what I said, between 60 and 240 kb. Higher than that, it will be too heavy. It has to be well lit, okay? And then again, your orientation, pose, and what's on your face in terms of what you're wearing and whether you smile or you don't smile. That is very, very important. And when you go to take your picture, those are the considerations that you must make. And if Gary, you allow me, maybe from the other camera, I can just take guys kidogo into what I have in my studio. So basically for me, it's a very, very heavy investment in terms of it's basically because I've had some people who've come to my studio and they ask, so like I've not been there for like 5 minutes. Is that what I'm paying all that much for? And I tell people it's the investment. So basically, if you look at what we have here is like a fully fledged studio with sufficient lighting, and I hope you guys can see it from there. Okay, I've got 4 sets of light. The overhead ones are just basically supposed to cater for what your face looks like, and then I've got the lower ones which cater for your body, the part of you that is the body. So I have that basic setup. And I use a white background because I don't want to make things very difficult. So basically, if I am sitting here and you're seeing what is behind me, right, and the camera was ahead of me, you're likely to get a balanced lit image, that doesn't have light on one side or on the other side. So basically, of course, this is a phone impression of what I'm doing, but basically that is a setup. When you walk in here, heavy investment again, as I said, proper camera for the works. This is Canon R5C, so I don't take chances, right? I know I could use smaller resolution cameras, but I don't want to take chances and ruin someone's opportunity. So what I say is, if there's anything that you want to take a risk on, let it not be a photograph that could be taken properly and improve your chances to get this. I think Gary, si nimeongea sana. Are we there?
Hello. Oh, sorry. I had left. left. So
Yeah.
Thank you for that session. Quickly I want us to before I start to show people how to fill the green card itself, kwa sababu hauwezi feel kama una picture. And that's why we wanted to start with you because and I like the way you've demonstrated quite elaborate and to the point, tunawaletea hii chakula tunawatafunia kidogo tuwamezee. Yeah, but there are some people out here wenye hawana access ya photography na nini, and I've seen a lot of YouTubers talk about how you can take a picture, and that's why there's a photo tool on how gives a few secrets za if people wako huko mitaani wanataka hawana uwezo ya kuenda kwa studio, what can you advise them?
So based on the things that we've talked about, number one, you need to be in a well-lit place. Okay, be in a well-lit place. And what I could say is, if you're going to be in a well-lit place, don't stand out in the sun. Okay.
Yeah.
If you look at my face right now, you can see a ray of light cutting, across my face. Yeah. Now that is because of the bulb that is up above my head. But if I move there, my face is evenly lit. Okay, there's nothing that is sharp. There's no ray of light that is hitting me, but it is evenly lit. So that's what you get when you are in a shaded place. All right. And so if you're going to be, if you're not able to access a studio and you must take a picture, then try use natural light from a window. Okay. So put your camera against the window. Okay. And then whatever is in the background is what you need to worry about so that it is not busy. Okay. So if you have a plain background, right, use the light coming from a window because it is a bigger lens. It's like a bigger lens or a bigger source of light, hitting your face. So you don't have parts of you that are highlighted and parts of you that are sharp, that have sharp dark patches. Because again, picha ikiwa na shadows very sharp, then that is also a cause for rejection. That's what I would say. But then I also tell people, like, once you've taken the picture, please just test it to see if it fits the size requirements. It needs to be within the 60 KB to 240 KBs. And of course, if you're in the US, if you're in Washington, I am based in Kent. You can always walk into my studio and we'll take a picture. And we do express service. Before you leave the studio, you have it in your email, so you can go ahead straight to upload it. Umehepatana Gary. Should I keep talking? You know, I mean.
Eh, to do a
Yeah,
live
so
show.
I,
Mbona nimehepa?
I know, I
Watu wa
know. So
TikTok mna
basically,
miss out. Isipokuwa mmeniona nikihepa. At least on
uh,
YouTube I'm able to get out of the studio and come back. But
all
watu wa
right.
TikTok, you're missing out, guys. You're missing out because this description you can see it better on our YouTube channel. Nimekimbia upstairs, bro. Nimehoma.
Yeah,
I was getting
yeah.
my
So,
charger before my phone goes off.
oh,
So
okay. So I was
yeah,
just
ndio
telling
nimetoka
guys,
kukimbia.
those who are in Washington
I
State,
could
I'm
hear you,
based in
by the way. I
Kent.
could hear you all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm in Kent. You can always walk in, and not really walk in. I'm not able to see walk-ins. I usually serve on appointment only. All you need to do is send me a WhatsApp message with your name and tell me what day and time you want to come in specifically. If it's at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday, say the date, day, and the time that you want to come. I'll check with my calendar because, like right now, I can tell you it's been getting busy every day. And as we go towards the last week, it gets even busier. I'm not able to take everyone. So the earlier, the better. The last week, again, I must say this, the last week is a bad time to start trying to apply because systems sometimes get clogged up because of last minute people. And so you try to fill out the form and you're on the second stage. And when you're done, you try to submit in a kata, you know.
yeah.
So it's good to do it early. Don't wait for the last minute. You can WhatsApp me 206 636. Is it okay for me to say that?
Yeah, sure.
Right, yeah, 206 636 8183. Again, 206 636 8183. Just WhatsApp me. I'll be able to answer you. Some people try to call, and sometimes I get overwhelmed, and I may not be able to pick any calls. So I encourage people to just write a WhatsApp message, and I'm able to respond to them and track that conversation based on tulifikisha wapi, you know, like what time did we agree on? Because if you tell me on phone, I might not remember everybody. For instance, you call and someone else calls and someone else calls, I cannot remember all of that. But if you text me and we agree on what date and time you're coming in, I can be able to check on the calendar and give you a good response. And that also goes, Gary, to those that also come to studio and they also want me to help them fill out the form, because again, it's not everybody that has maybe a computer near them or a laptop near them, although it's something that you can also use a phone to actually make submissions to. But of course you have to know how to navigate, like where did you save your picture and how to access it. So there are some people that also require assistance with that. And what I will tell you is that to America time is money. If you want to spend my time doing what you want me to do for you, then I'm going to charge for it. So when we communicate via WhatsApp, I tell you how we go about it.
Kabisa.
Thank you.
So guys, by the way, to just make things clear here, Anthony ako Kent, America. That's why tunasema watu wako America pia mnaweza apply green card. Na hamtarudishwa Kenya mkishinda. Mnafanyia tu hapa, mtajitetea hapa na hamuna mashahidi, mtakuwa hapa. So ndio tunaongea Anto yuko Kenya. It's Kent in Washington. Okay.
Right.
Just to make things clear,
let me give some word on that. So basically, if you win, when you apply the green card and you're in the US and you win, what basically happens is that they communicate with you to inform you that you've won. It's your business to keep checking. There's what is called a bulletin. Okay, they release a bulletin with the dates when you can now apply for change of status. So what you do is you go in to apply for a change of status now from whatever status you're here on. Kama maybe ulikuja now your status is you're on, on an asylum seeker, then you go and apply for change of status. There has been rumor, people telling others that you have to go back to the country. Remember on your application, and this is what I found out over time. Maybe while you are applying, you indicated that the country you live in on the application form, you're going to see it as we go with Gary on this. Where the country you live in, if you said Kenya, then you cannot be trying to appear, from the US, again. So if you said you're in Kenya and you live in Kenya, then they expect you to